Hey guys, it's Charlie. Just a quick heads up, on this podcast we have real, honest conversations. And sometimes that means we touch on sensitive subjects. But this is the Overshare Club. Some of it might not be for everyone, so please take care whilst watching or listening. Now let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the Overshare Club. Today I'm joined by mobile hairdresser and sound and energy therapist. So I'd like to welcome Graeme.
Yay!
Yay, you're here! Thank you for travelling to me.
That's okay.
Were the roads okay?
Yeah, all good.
Doesn't that feel like such a British question?
Yeah,
Was you travel all right? Did you get stuck on the M1?
No, I didn't, so I was good.
Let's talk about your hairdressing journey.
Yeah.
So, going back to the beginning,
Yeah.
did you always know you wanted to be a hairdresser? No?
No.
Okay, so how did you get into hairdressing?
I repetitively got sacked every month for 3 years.
What, doing hairdressing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, before. And then one of my friends had just qualified and she's like, come and get your hair cut. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, yeah, went in and it was quite a nice salon. And she's like, have you ever thought about doing it? And I was like, nah, it's
not a bit of me.
This is not going to work for me. And then she's like, just come in and have a go. And obviously I'd been sacked again. So I was like, I need the money.
What jobs were you doing before to get sacked?
Silver service waitering, worked in kitchens, worked in restaurants, worked in shops, worked in the kennels.
Everything.
Yeah, I've done loads of stuff before I actually started training. And then I thought, do you know what? If I do this for a month, I'll get the money.
Yeah.
And then I can just in that month like work out another job. And then I went in for my first day. Like that day I got my hair cut. The owner was in and she came over and was like talking to me. And my mate's like, yeah, like give him a go, it'd be really good. And and I started on the Monday and I just sort of stood back after the first week, like fucking knackered, you know,
Yeah.
when you're like, what the fuck is this? But I did think then like,
This might be something.
you get to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's like fast paced. You can't leave things in the middle. Like you have to complete what you start and all of it. And it was all sort of lining up in my head. And I thought, right, I'm going to give it another like chunk of time. And then the owner's son said to me, do you really want to do this? And I was like, just wanting the money. So I was like, yeah. And he's like, right, you're my assistant.
Yeah.
And you're going to work with me and I'm going to get you on the shop floor within 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then, but I used to have to like, he didn't have clips and stuff. So I used to have to hold the hair. And then bit by bit, he like taught me how to blow dry. So I'd finish off all of his colours. And then, yeah, within 6 months, I was on the shop floor.
Ah, so it was aligned for you then?
Yeah. And it's like, it's really weird because I'd not stuck at anything up until that point. And then, as you well know, like training is like fucking horrific for the patience levels.
Yes.
Like foils and lots of tears.
Yeah.
But
throwing mannequin heads out the window.
oh, full scale like booting trolleys and stuff. Yeah, it's like horrendous, isn't it? And but there was something in me that was like, I love being with people.
Yeah.
And I love like, it was a big salon group, and it was like I worked with all these different types of hairdressers, and just kept thinking, oh no, there is room for me.
Yeah.
Like I can fit into this, and then as I hit the shop floor, and this was way before like how employment works nowadays.
Yeah.
I was just basically almost running a column from like 8 months in.
Oh wow.
And obviously it wasn't like colour corrections and stuff like that, but I was like a lot of my mentors, clients would be like, can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Oh, it's nice that they had that trust in you then,
yeah.
especially like so soon as well.
And because it was something that I felt I was requested for, I was like, this is a first.
Yeah.
Because when I worked in offices and stuff, I was so disruptive. Like I couldn't shut my mouth. Like I was put in offices on my own and stuff, and then I'd just terrorise everyone on phones and stuff. So yeah, so to go in an environment where that's kind of where you're at, like it's
like you
brilliant.
can be who you want to be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice then.
Yeah.
So would you say that there were any sort of like struggles within like hairdressing? Because obviously it seems like it came naturally to you.
To a degree, but now I understand this, but at the time I really didn't. Like there was a couple of really huge struggles for me working in front of a mirror.
Okay.
Seeing yourself from 7 different angles
Yes.
is fucking horrendous.
Yes.
And the way my mind works, like now I understand that I do actually have quite strong ADHD. So in that environment, you can't perform a successful busy column if you haven't got ADHD. Because
I was having this conversation at the event last night.
Yeah, because it's like to concentrate on the application you're doing, watching what you're doing, formulating what you're doing, whilst holding a conversation and listening to 3 other people and wondering what you're doing next.
Yeah.
And performing a good service. You can't do that if you don't really have ADHD, can you? And it's like, I now talk to a lot of my clients when their children are getting statemented for ADHD and there's this massive negativity on it. And I always say to them, no, like our industry, this is where you will like succeed on a huge level if you've got this. So I don't get why schools and the education system put a massive negativity onto it, because to be a very successful hairdresser, that's what I believe the formulation starts with.
No, I would agree, because, I mean, I've not been diagnosed or anything.
No,
I've never even thought about it until people have started mentioning it to me. And I'm like, well, because like back in the day, it was like ADHD was just sort of looked at as the naughty child in the classroom sort of thing.
Well, it was definitely isn't what it is now.
No.
But then I definitely think like when you look at like when I never really in salon life worked 1-to-1. It was never a thing. It was like the old school method of like full hair falls 45 minutes, like bang, bang, bang.
The conveyor belt.
Yeah, like full scale. And then you'd all, like the last salon I worked in, we'd all pitch in and help everyone. So it was like behind the scenes, just sheer fucking chaos.
Yeah.
But out the front, that's what made us all be a really good team, a really successful salon, because we were all ADHD to a 10.
Yeah.
We just went into the war zone, sorted it all out, and then finished the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like what people say, like you've got all these different tabs open in your head and they never close.
Yeah.
They just like, you minimise them, but then you open the next tab and you get on with that next thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if it's the same for you. I'm very impulsive. Very impulsive. Like as soon as I get an idea, I'm like, I'm going to do that. So podcast.
Yeah.
As soon as I thought, do you know what? I could do a podcast. That was it. The Instagram page was made, and
I suppose I've learned over the last 5 years of my life, because of something that happened to me, that if I'm scared of something, I'll run towards it.
Go out your comfort zone.
Like providing sound therapy and stuff was like a really, really vulnerable thing for me to do. But because I was shitting myself that much about it, I had to do it, because I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah, you're never going to know unless you actually go for something.
And I think that depending on how you are as a hairdresser, like I've got a lot of clients that have been with me for like over 15 years, mobile, that not that it's repetitive, but it's quite I know them, they know me. Like sometimes there's not as much edge as when you're in a salon and you have to do what someone comes in and asks. But it's like, I find that not having that impulsiveness sometimes in a salon makes my work better. Yeah. Because I feel really controlled about it. I know my products, I know my clients. Like when they say, I want a box fringe, I'm like, Susan, calm the fuck down. Like this is just not going to be part of it. Like we're not. Yeah,
there is some thought process now going on.
I lived through this 11 years ago. We're not doing this again.
No, definitely. So why did you go mobile? Because I remember when we first met, you said you'd worked in a number of salons.
Yes.
So why the transition to mobile?
Well, when 15 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer, I was working in a really good team of salons, but the money was horrific. Yeah. And there was no security, and we worked in a very big team of people, and over the course of a year, bit by bit, everyone, 3 people left, and it started to change the dynamics, and a manager was brought in who was a fucking prick, that me and her had a big problem. And it wasn't me trying to have it. It was just the dynamics had changed and she just rated herself and stuff. Very good hairdresser, but a bit
Just
of a
different
prick.
people.
Yeah. And then I've always done this in every job, and I'm not saying recommending people do this. I've always had my notice written out undated in my bag, and I used to carry it in every day.
What?
Just in case I felt cornered or something wasn't aligning with me, I'd just go, boom, fuck off, I'm not doing this. I've worked in 33 salons.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. But my last one, we used to have a lot of fact and figure meetings, and like every 12 weeks we'd go over our take-ins and stuff. And I was at 98.2% capacity booked for 4 years. And he would sit and say to me, you need to earn me more money. And I'd be like, unless I shit another pair of arms and legs out of my arsehole, how am I going to earn? And he's like, maximise your services. And he'd very periodically come up and be like, oh, I've moved your lunch break, you've got a full head of fours in half an hour. And I'd just think, you fucking prick. And then we got to this meeting, and we'd had quite a few run-ins. I don't know how I'd never got sacked from there, really. But we had quite a few run-ins. And we were sat in this meeting one day, and he was talking round my head. He just wouldn't look at me, and I could feel it coming.
Yeah.
And this is the 22nd of November.
I like how you remember the date.
Oh, yeah. And after this whole meeting of jabs about me, because the management was very toxic at this point, and I just kept thinking, I don't want to do this for money. And he just turned on his heels, pointed at me and said, have you got anything you want to say? And I went, yeah, I'm fucking leaving. Got my thing out, dated it, and just threw it across the room. And he was like, oh, right, so when are you leaving? I was like,
no.
About 15 minutes.
When does the meeting finish?
And he was like, no, you've got a wedding next week. And I was like, no. You've got a wedding next week, mate. And my first client came in, who I'd seen for all the time. And he kept saying to me, you're never going to make this. Like, it's not, people don't come because of you. Like, real going at me. And I just thought, you're so wrong. And then my first client of the morning come in, and she's a very, very glamorous lady. And I said, I'm really sorry, I can't do your hair today. And she was like, oh my God, what's happened? And I was like, I've left. And we were all stood at reception, the owner, all the team. And she went, well, where are you going? And I said, well, I don't know. I've just literally just left today. And she was like, let's go over to Costa, which is opposite the salon. And we sat there for about 3 hours. And she's like, what the fuck are you going to do? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And then bit by bit, because I spell my name different, everyone could kind of find me.
Okay, so it wasn't even like poaching, because I know like
no,
salons, they're like, oh, you can't poach clients or whatever.
We went through a little bit of that for a few months after I left. It's not my problem that people want me, not you, so... Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying, as in, like, you didn't go looking for the client.
No,
the
and because I did it off the cuff,
you.
It's like I hadn't even planned that up until 10 minutes before I'd done it.
Yeah.
And then I remember walking down to my car thinking, I'm going on holiday the day after Boxing Day. It's Christmas. I've got no Christmas presents. And now I've got no fucking job. Fuck. But because of how my mum works, I'm like, it's got to work then.
Yeah.
I've got no option.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky. From 3 weeks in from leaving, I was fully booked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you had that... Your clients had the loyalty, not to the salon, they had the loyalty.
Well, I used to do a lot of things that helped me at that time. So the word kind of spreads, and a few people approached me, and this girl who I'm friends with to this day just literally like Facebook messaged me and was like, oh, I really need to get my roots done, blah, 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 blah. I said, look, I'll come round to have a chat. And then there was a lot of girls in her house. And I just whispered to her, I said, I ain't going to charge you for your cut if you get 5 of them fuckers to come and get their hair done. And she was like, what? And I was like, I won't charge her for like your cut. Like, get them.
Yeah.
3 days later, she's like, I've got 8 people for you.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like, they used to all sit round, watch films, drink wine, have a big social thing, and I'm just in the corner shitting out money. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I did for like a long time. So then people would fight. So it was like whoever's house it was at wouldn't be charged for their car.
Okay.
And people were just like, no, like, let's go. And then, from 3 weeks after I left that salon, I was fully booked 16 hours a day, 6 days a week.
That's amazing. I mean, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah, but this is the thing that
Well,
when you come from that old school mentality of like next.
Yes.
That to me was the mark of success. And over time, I've actually learned that's not the mark of success.
No.
That's one way to fuck yourself up.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been doing hairdressing as long as you, but when I first started out, I mean, I was doing another job. So I was doing hairdressing, but I was doing another job as well. And I was pretty much working 6 or possibly even 7 days a week.
I've gone through all of that.
And I was like, I can't do this.
And the thing is, like, I used to come home on a Saturday night about 10 o'clock, like I'd been in war. Distressed, fucked up, burnt out, starving, agitated. But then I'd open up my takings bag and count my takings for the week and just be like,
ooh,
not actually that tired now.
When's my next one? 11 p.m?
But for a long time, I used to do a lot of people that had alternative stuff. So people that run pubs that couldn't get their hair done at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I accommodated because I just chased the money.
Yeah.
And I just used to do crazy hours. And like sometimes I'd offered hair, like full head falls at 11 p.m. and they're like, yep. Or 6:30 in the morning, they're like, yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose when you do go self-employed...
Well, it's fear, isn't it?
Yeah, but you almost need to put in that work at first.
Once I'd done that first Christmas and I'd gone on a very nice holiday, come back and I remember sitting thinking, right, I've got to work out now how I provide the rest of my year. This can't be, see you in 6 weeks. This is like, and because I was so busy, people knew that if you had a wedding in June, you got to fucking book that shit.
Yeah.
Like this, you can't phone me a month before because it's a no. Because I covered from sort of like North London, the outer suburbs, all the way up to like Oxford, Milton Keynes, St Albans. Like my area was massive, and because I did a lot of wedding work, and then I sort of got clients through that as well. So people knew they had to be mega organised. So for a good chunk of time, I'd come back off my holiday in January, have another busy Christmas period because we used to go away for quite a long time. But then on that first appointment, they'd book their whole year.
Yeah.
The whole year up till Christmas week.
Yeah. I love clients like that though.
Because I know what I'm doing, you know what you're doing. We don't have to pretend.
Yeah, like, we don't have to like, I can't really get you in on that day or whatever. I've got quite a few clients now that... Some clients, yes, they'll say, I'll book my next appointment. But then I've got other clients that I'm like, can I book up until Christmas?
Yeah, standard.
Like, absolutely can.
And it's funny because, again, I've learned over the years, it depends how your mind works, because I know that like I pre-plan a lot of stuff. So it's like things have to be like that. And a lot of my clients are the same. They're like, I've got this ball in like June or whatever. So if I line up my hair appointment, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like I'll base it around the holidays. I'll base it around
1,000%, yeah.
And no, I find that so much easier because, I mean, in here, it's chaos.
Yeah.
So on the outside, I need structure, I need my diary, and I just need everything planned out. I mean, when I'm doing the hair, it might start off all planned out, and then by the end of it, fucking chaos.
Yeah.
But I need that structure to start with. And it's like,
again, if you're aware of how that is successful mentality for you, then that's where you've got to run with it, isn't it?
Yes. And I definitely think, especially with bridal hair, because I do bridal hair, you've got to have that structure. I mean, you don't want any sort of like bridezilla. I've been very, very lucky that I've not had any bridezillas. But I've got one lady who she's got a timetable for everyone who is part of the wedding on the day, and like she gave me the timetable, and she gave me a little like lunch break as well. I was like, bless you. I was like, I won't need it. I said, I'll just work all the way through. She's like, you've got to eat and drink. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll have biscuits in my bag or whatever. I'll go to McDonald's on the way home. That's kind of what happens.
And I think that like when you, especially with wedding hair in particular, it's such a high pressured moment, and you probably know as well, like loads of hairdressers I know just don't touch it. Yeah. Because they're just like, whoa. Whereas I just think it's spray and grips.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, we can sort this. Like it's not, and my experiences and expertise, I always go with what someone wants, but then I always say to them, because I never not do a trial, fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that. I've been burned by that. So, and I always go 100% with what they want, all their references, everything. But then afterwards, as I comb it out, I'm like, can I just do what I think? Mm-hmm. Just so you can see. And 9 times out of 10, they're always like, yeah, that's it. And you're like, yeah. So now I know what I'm doing because I've done it.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Because I suppose with I suppose it's no different to like when someone comes into the salon, or just like a client shows you the hair that they want.
Yeah.
Obviously, working with colour, it's kind of easy to say that, oh, your hair might not get to that point, but we can do this or we can do this. When it's a bride and they've seen this picture that they want...
And they've got 3 hairs and they're showing you Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Or it's like, especially if someone who has dark hair, but they're showing you a picture of a blonde hair.
Yeah,
I always say, I'm like, they're not going to look like that.
No.
I'm like, well, why not? And I'm like, because they've got different tones going through the hair, it's going to show it. But if we do it in this way...
And I think the hard thing, and I understand fully why hairdressers don't really lean into wedding hair unless they love it, is shit like that. And you only learn it by doing it and having those moments. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm never putting myself in that again.
See, I threw myself in the deep end because I started doing wedding hair. So I was doing like hair up before I was even ever doing hairdressing. Yeah. And I mean, it just started off as, oh, I'll do my friend's hair for this, or I'll do my friend. And then the sort of like word got out. And then, I started doing it more and more. So I kind of gave myself a little bit of a benefit because I'd learnt quite early on, even just doing friends and family's hair, that, oh, okay, this might not work, so I'll have to do it this way. So I sort of... rather than just throwing myself completely into wedding hair.
And like now, I don't really do any of that work, and I haven't for quite a long time, because I think when you're self-employed, you go through cycles of like everyone having babies, everyone getting married, and I've got to the point now where all my clients and their surroundings are all either married, will never get married again, and like I have done one of my clients 3 weddings for her. Mad.
I'll be the same as last time.
It's like, I want it completely different. And I'm like, yeah, cool. But I find now that if you said to me, say, do like a wedding put up on a mannequin head, I'd rattle it, I'd like do it. I wouldn't even think about it. But I haven't been in such a pressurised environment for such a long time. I don't know how I'd react to it, so I'm not as comfortable.
Yeah.
Whereas I know other people that are like smash wedding hair that I'm like, go see this. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of got to the point now where, because there are a lot of hairdressers that don't provide wedding hair, I think a lot of people have just sort of assumed, oh, she doesn't do wedding hair anymore. And I'm like, no, I do.
But I definitely think through some of the people I've met over the last like 5 years or whatever, I think it's either your strength or something that you don't do.
Yeah, because now I think there's bridal stylists. Yeah, and that's all they do.
Yeah, full scale.
And then there's hairdressers.
Whereas like when I trained, and like the first 5 years of like being on the floor qualified, it's like you had to provide everything. Like about the 4th salon group I worked for was an incredibly large salon group within a health club. And the only reason, she said to me on my interview, the only reason why we'd offer you the job is because you can literally do everything, like gents, kids, colours, like complex colours, wedding hair, like the whole lot. So there wasn't a specialist thing then, whereas now everyone's a fucking specialist on that.
Yes, I can definitely agree with that. Whereas I don't want to be a specialist.
Me neither.
In anything. I like doing a bit of this, a bit of that. Don't get me wrong, I like the big transformations from going from just like one standard colour to a beautiful balayage. Yeah. But I also do like just my routine or a quick wash, cut and blow
dry. And like my mentality from really when I qualified was, the thing that is important to me is that I've made a difference to someone. Yeah. Whether that's rubbing out their grey, giving them like a different type of haircut, or doing a complete straightforward appointment, but they needed to come talk to me.
Yes. It's not necessarily about the hair.
No. So
it's the conversation, it's
Yeah.
the getting away from home or whatever.
And like the whole thing about the confessional position,
Yeah.
like, and especially being mobile, that we don't sit in front of big mirrors.
Yeah.
That like the sort of in-depth things that we can talk about, and you're part, like with a lot of my clients, I'm part of their world, but I'm not affecting their world.
Yes.
So like you might not say certain things to your friends, but you can come and talk to me, and I'm, for the good and the bad, quite blunt. So it's like you only ask me if you want an answer. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's another thing that's always worked quite well for my self-employed career, is because I'm not scared. Like, and it's not saying between women and women, it's different. But I think advice and different, like if someone's like, I really want this, I can be like, no fucking way. And they'll take it.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes between women, there can sometimes be that level of friction of
Yeah.
like, why is she saying this? Is it because my hair's longer than her? Like, whereas with me,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you can look like a pig. I can't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Just straight to the point.
But then the clients that work well with me are the ones that I need.
Yes.
Because some people can't take all of that. And don't get me wrong, like I'd never boot someone in the gut if I knew that they didn't know me very well or whatever. But in general, those type of conversations, I'll always listen to what people want. But there is a line with me where I'm like, if that's really, really what you want, you're going to have to ask me this for 6 appointments in a row. And then I might potentially do it. But then it's on you, and you don't say that I've done it.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Because
yeah.
there's loads of things that I'm not, it's not that I'm not competent to do, but I know where my strengths lie,
Yeah.
and I prefer to work within that, so I'm happier with my work.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know, I'm exactly the same.
Whereas-
I'm not afraid to tell someone, no, I'm not
Yeah,
doing that. I'm not the person for you.
1,000%. And like my best friend is a hairdresser, and we've shared clients over the years. I know another girl that's absolutely amazing at cutting short hair, like amazing. She's got such a higher skill set than me.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you need to go see this person. And they're
Yeah.
like, huh? And I'm like, you're going to get, even if I colour it and you go get it, like, I'm all up for that, because I want you to be in a good situation with your hair.
Yeah.
Not just going, oh, I think about the money.
Yeah, yeah, because I think sometimes with that as well, if you do it and you're not happy with it, in your head, you're just going to be going, they're going to message me. They're going to message me. They're going to say they're not happy.
And do you know what? Me and my best friend, the interesting thing about being at a different age of hairdressing, trained very different to a lot of people that are coming through now. And I know we all have the same fear of like, did I overtone that? Was that like right? Like blah, 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 blah. But I think when you know that it's not your strength skill set, like being a bit older and stuff, you understand the complications that's going to give that client. And you just, I just over process to quite a high level. So I will always, if I've ever changed anything with a client, I'll always 3 days later be like, have you washed and dried it?
Is
like,
it all right?
Because I need to know that, because for 3 days, I'm like, every time my phone glows, I'm like, oh my God. Because you just know you've changed something.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
No, I completely understand. I completely get it. Now, it's one of those things that just, it does play, even when you've done something that you enjoy doing and you've nailed it, there's always a part of me that's going, but did they really like it? Because people are very good at sitting in a chair and going, I absolutely love it, and then going home and they slate people on social media. That really winds me. If there's a problem, just tell me.
And this is the whole thing about like how I mentally operate, is like, I've done stuff, 3 days later they're like, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And it's not that it was it was just maybe not the right thing, and they were heavy pressed on it, sort of gave way a little bit or whatever. And I've got no qualms, like when, as we all have a bad day at the office, if something's not quite right, like it's like when you cut a fringe and I'm like, in 3 days, if this is pissing you off, I'll come and just cut it a bit short. Like, I want everyone to be happy, but I'm also not scared to go back and face what someone's not happy with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, we're not all telepathic.
No.
So you have to kind of have that open door, I think. If you want to retain like strong regular clients, I think you have to have that level of approachability.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Whereas
building trust with someone.
1,000%. And like I see a few hairdressers that are just on a slightly elevated level that I've heard some horror stories about. And you just think, oh my God, I can't believe that person performs like that when you're a service industry. Like, that to me is shocking, because we all fuck up. We all make mistakes, don't we?
So we've just got to own up to it.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it?
Move on.
And what I've always liked about my learning curves is I'm not scared to try and tackle to get myself out of any corner.
Yeah.
Because I've got quite an old school knowledge of maybe not taught techniques of how you know, we've all done it when you've put on a toner and it starts grabbing like shit to a blanket and you're like, oh my God.
You're gonna wash this off now.
Yeah, and like how to combat all of these things. So I know what I'm capable of, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Whereas I think when you're a bit of a younger stylist, that's why I think the salon experience is a very good starting point.
Yeah.
Because you need to cut your teeth and make mistakes in a secure, knowledgeable environment. Whereas sometimes when you're on your own and you think, how the fuck am I going to get out of this?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a horrendous, I hate that, like, organs trying to climb out your asshole feeling. It's horrendous, isn't it?
Completely. I mean, I remember doing someone's hair, and she's I don't know if she's a hairdresser, but she does hair extensions herself. And she came to me and she wanted me to do her colour and to do the extensions, but she didn't want to get the extensions through myself. It was extensions she already had and blah blah blah. So I was like, right, okay, fine. So I agreed to it. She brought the extensions in. I was like, they don't really match your hair at the minute, and trying to colour
whereas
hair
if you bought them, you'd
same, yeah. But then she was like, oh well, can you just colour the extensions like a little bit? So I was like,
oh, that's such a ball ache.
I said, but I can't guarantee that they're going to turn out exactly the same as your hair, because it's a completely different
chemical
process.
Like, it's just a whole clusterfuck, isn't it?
Well, it was, and at the end of the appointment, like it looked great. Was it my best work? No, but I was working with what I had.
1,000%, and people forget that.
Yeah. And then, so she went, and I didn't hear from her. I thought, all right, okay then. 2 days later, I got a message. I thought, right, okay then. And she said, the colour doesn't look quite right, and the extensions don't look like quite level or whatever. But anyway, these are hair extensions that she had in previously, so they had already been cut to like what her hair was before. So.
Oh, what a learning curve.
Yeah. I mean, with extensions as well, I find that, I mean, do you do hair extensions?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So when you fit extensions and you blend it all in, all that sort of thing, it can look amazing. But sometimes after you had that first wash and blow dry, it can sit differently.
Yeah, 1,000%. And the thing that I find really tricky with hair extensions in general is that I've tried to accommodate people's budgets within hair extensions. And then what I've learned from that is you can get the silkiest, smoothest, like double drawn, cuticle correct, all of that shit. They wash and blow dry and they're like big.
Yeah.
And you're like, that quality of hair is nowhere near a premium thing. But now we've got to deal with this.
Yes.
And the real reason why people have hair extensions is because they've probably not got as much hair as they want.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all of these things are just people think, oh, you just whack in a weft, you just whack in some nanobonds, or it's quite a complicated game.
That, it is. And I think, I mean, I'll be completely honest, I was one of these people that did the online training for hair extensions.
Well, I used to do raccoon, like the...
So which ones were they?
Oh God, this is like back.
Is this when you like twist hair around
with a glue gun?
Oh, okay.
And then you like, it's a bit like K-tip sort of thing, but very, very, very old. And it was it was just such a nightmare. The amount of DNA and fingerprints I had on people's heads. And like, I'd come out and like my fingers and thumbs were just like massive and like smooth. It was just fucking horrendous.
So if there was ever like a murder scene or something, you'd be like, don't check the head because that's my DNA.
My fingerprints were all up the back of her head. But this is the thing about our industry, especially over the last like 10 years, I'd say, is like the technology and loads of stuff is massively elevated, which makes our jobs really, really easy. But that's for high-end, financially comfortable people. When you're sort of a bit of a step down from that, there's going to be compromises because you can't turn around to a mega blonde person and be like, well, your hair cost $1,000.
Yeah.
And I still haven't fitted it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a minefield, extensions,
Oh,
really,
it is,
isn't it? But I do love it. I do love doing them.
Oh, I love it. Like, if I had any sort of specialist, it would be hair extension. It would be doing like weave extensions. Like that is just for me. That's my therapy.
Yeah.
That's where I get into a zone. I know what I'm doing.
Flow of
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
just
the
tabs have all closed down. Everything's clear. There's no chaos going on. But no, I love doing like hair extensions. But sometimes, as I say, like you can fit them all perfectly, and then they go home, wash and blow dry, then they don't look the same. And if they don't look the same, that's absolutely tell me.
Yeah. Don't go telling everyone else. Tell me.
Just tell me,
Give
and
me
I'll
an
get
opportunity.
it sorted.
Yeah.
And luckily, going back to that girl, she messaged me and she said like, "Oh, it doesn't look quite right." Blah blah blah. And she sent me a photo, and it looks shit. And I was like, "Come back." I was like, "I will sort it."
But don't you? This is probably a really toxic thing to say. But when people, you're like, "Can you just send me a picture?" And you're just praying that it doesn't look fucking horrific, and you're like, "Easy fix." Easy.
Yeah. No, this did it. No, it looked shit. So I was like, "Come back." I said, "We'll get it sorted." But I said to her, I was like, "The only way I can fix this properly is because all your extensions are this length, that length, this length, because you've worn them before. I'm going to have to take you shorter to make it blend."
Like, let's play fair on this.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
And she was, in the end, she was really grateful that I sorted it for her and that sort of thing. But because she did hair extensions as well, it was
pressure
like,
in it.
I was like, I hope I got this right the second time.
And then it's funny, isn't it? Because I suppose in many other industries and professions, when that type of scenario within your profession happens to you, but I think because it's with hair, it just contributes to how someone feels, and we feel that pressure on a large level.
Well, it's something that is on show every single day.
Yeah, and it's like we've got to provide that whole immaculate service. And what I think a lot of people that, like, I forget, being in the game for so long, that is actually a pressure.
Yeah.
Because obviously I just turn up and do hair, and I forget that people don't know hair language. So when we're talking about colours and that, and they're like, fuck. Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, this is like a group chat situation, not for like you. But it's, that pressure, like, I think that was the hardest thing, especially when you've pushed the boat out, like earlier on in my career when I used to have to do what people asked me to do in a salon and stuff. I never had that confidence, like really sternly, because I'm like, this could just implode if I get this wrong. And sometimes I talk myself into a corner and be like, I'm shit, everyone else I work with is better than me.
Yeah.
You have a couple of bad clients, it can shoot you down, can't it?
Yeah. But I feel like we're like that now as hairdressers, even more so. Again, because of social media.
Oh, shit on that part of it.
It's like
AI, wigs.
Yeah, but you see what this person's doing, you go, oh my God, that's amazing. And then you're in your head and you're going, oh, my work don't look like that. Or you think your work might look like that.
Yeah.
But in your head, because you've done it. Yeah, you'll go, oh, but that was shit.
I can remember not so long ago, I did a set of foils and on a really blonde person, and she just wanted it broken up. I can do this in my sleep. I didn't even really question my formulation. I kind of knew where I was at, did it all, and then it looked beautiful. And I stood there, and I still get these moments where I'm like, stunning. So I was like, nailed that one. But as I went to leave, like, I mean, she's over the moon with it, but when she turned her head, there was one bit of a slightly darker tone that was just a bit too wide for me. And as I got in the car, I was like, bollocks. And for days, I'm like, that just what happens? And then you manifest it into, like, she's got a black wedge at the back of her head. And like,
what you got in your hair, love?
Yeah, and then I'm like, are people going to tap her on the shoulder and be like, what's that? Like, do you know what I mean? But it's because you just want your clients to have that.
Yeah, and we are perfectionists.
Yeah.
We are absolute perfectionists, but, like, to the point where we will go, we've done an amazing job, but then we see that one tiny little bit that no one's ever going to notice but you.
And me and my best friend say all the time, we're like colour, like pinpointers. Mm-hmm. So like I could look at, like, I don't know, like a highlighted weft, and I could probably pick the colours out.
Yeah.
Give it to a client, they'd say, oh, there's two colours in it. And you're like, it's actually 7.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we all forget as hairdressers that like we're like zoned in on to pick fault. Our job is to sort of critique something, whether it's yours or what someone else has done.
Yeah.
It's your job, isn't it? To
Yeah.
kind of, how would I improve? What would I do?
Yeah.
But if you stand back and actually look overall, it's not as bad as you tell yourself.
No, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about... So you're doing mobile hairdressing at the minute.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what you're going to continue to do with the mobile hairdressing?
It's definitely always going to be there, and hair is always going to be part of it. But I'm ready to do something different, like just in general as hairdressers, especially with like the what's it of Donald Trump and like the import taxes, stock, fuel, being mobile, and when you cover a very big area, it's a ball ache. Like my profit margins are piss thin at the minute.
Yes.
And it's like maybe this is life showing me that I need to adjust to that.
Okay. So what is...
I want to find a space where I'm stationary for a bit. And even if it's not full time.
Yeah.
But it's...
As in like renting a chair?
Kind of. Like I
Or your own place?
I would love my own place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do also understand setting up salons with people over the years and I understand the absolute shitstorm that is and the financial implications and stuff. But I think what's hugely changed in our industry is that people do go and rent units.
Yeah.
On industrial estates and different places. It's not, you've got to be like a Mayfair salon. It's kind of like, as long as you open the door and when it's shut behind you, you're happy where you're at.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole world that I see have grown hugely via social media of people out in the middle of nowhere on a farm.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think that now...
People are building salons in caravans.
Yeah.
And they look amazing.
And horse boxes and shit. Yeah. And I think that this part of the industry... It's so sad that like salon life is going to be very different, I think, moving forward with business rents and rates. This fucking government, all sorts of shit is killing that. Like,
well, salons are closing down here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't really know. Obviously, I'm not going to mention any names, but I don't really know other hairdressers that are locked into a contract within a salon that don't do hair outside it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think that customers, and this is what I've definitely seen from my most wealthiest clients down to like the everyday person, everyone's watching their money because shit is getting expensive.
Yeah.
And hair is classed as more on the luxury. Like I would say now, the majority of my clients I see every 8 to 12 weeks, not every 6.
Okay.
Unless it's a root tint.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think people are prepared after lockdown that they know they can go and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, they're all going for sort of like the lower maintenance.
Yeah.
Not having to have their
Which is cool, but then there has to be a balance to that as well for us, doesn't it? Because it's not that fun when someone you see every 3.5 weeks is going, I'll see you in 12 weeks. You're like...
Yeah. I've had a client who she's been going through her sort of like grey blending journey for like the last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, she can pull it off.
Yeah, I've had a few. Amazing.
But we've almost got to the point where we've blended it so well.
Yeah.
And I mean, she did say like she's been looking at these other women that have been just growing their hair out naturally and like going for the full sort of like grey look. And we've got to a point now, and she's like, right, I think we're going to stop like for the time being. I was like, okay. She's like, because it blends so well that I don't think I need to... I mean, she only came to me, I don't know if it was like every 12 weeks or something. But she just kind of thought like...
And amazing because you've got her request locked in.
Yeah.
But it's like, I remember when I've really started, when a lot of my clients hit that point, and then it's like, oh my God, so they're having it coloured every other time. So like 6-week appointments. So like every 12 weeks they'll have it coloured. You're doing magical shit to get it to do it, but then it's like every 3 appointments, every 4, and you're thinking, shit, that revenue, and I'm made up for my clients, but in a business brain, you're like, oh.
Money's just gone.
Yeah, you're
Where's
like,
it gone?
Okay, lovely. But now, like the first lady I ever successfully did it on, I see them as part of a big family. And yeah, it's funny. We do have a laugh, but every now and again, she's like, oh, I think I was, and I'm like, but as we all know, everything fades warm. And when you're pearly white, we're not adding lines. We're
Yeah.
like, we're
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of that. It's a real catch-22, isn't it?
It is. I mean, as I'm glad we got her to the point where
1,000%. It's what she wants.
Yeah, where she's happy. And she did say, she was like, when I need it cut, like I'll book back in or whatever.
Yeah.
She said, I'm just going to see how it goes. And then if she gets to a certain point, she's like, next on this, I want like the colour refreshed or whatever. Then
I mean, I've done
fine.
a couple where I've ended up almost doing tip outs.
Yes.
So we're not touching an area that's going to cause
or
me
you're
a
just
drama.
toning where it has gone warmer
yeah.
from the bleach, but you're not touching where it is naturally
A lot of people
grey.
like purple shampoo in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about your clients then.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you have any quiet clients.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What are you like in those situations?
I'm all right. Like, obviously, I'm not the quietest of people, but I do have quiet days. And a lot of my, what I call like quite softer clients and stuff, we just have a very different spectrum of conversation.
Yeah.
So, like, I know two of them in particular just think I'm bonkers, and I'm glad I'm not full force with you because you'd probably phone someone. Like, because they're just and because I'm in their environment,
Yeah.
it's very different. Like, you have to, and like, I will be honest, I'm never not honest to myself, but I do think like, oh, I know this person, it would just be too much or too uncomfortable. And if they ask me, I will tell them. Like, but I'm not gonna, if something really funny's just happened, I'm not gonna go in and just launch into it and like tsunami them.
Yeah.
When they're like, what the fuck is this in my house? But yeah, I just think I love that variation.
You go by their vibe.
So this is a really funny story. So for years, when I first went mobile, I used to do this lady's hair. She's never fucking happy with it. Never. Consistent messages between appointments. I'd get up. I'd get to her appointment. She was always quite rude, not very open and warm to me coming into her house.
Just one of those people that you sort of dread going to.
Yeah, we didn't really talk. Like, it was yes and no answers on both sides by the end of it. And then one day, I just said to her, right, I've just got to call it. I was like, right, you're never happy. You don't really want me in your house. I definitely feel you definitely don't want to talk to me. You don't really want to know anything about me. You don't give anything away about yourself. Wouldn't it just be better if you went to someone else? Because we've been in this situation for 10 years and I just don't
10
know.
years of dread.
Well, you know, I just don't know how comfortable you actually are with me.
Yeah.
And she just sort of was like, and I said, do you know what? I said, for this, just do this. For your next haircut, go somewhere else. Just to see if I give you what you want.
Yeah.
I've got no qualms about offering that to anyone.
Yeah.
And do you know what? She did. And I was a bit like, yes, but fuck. And then, but then I got a phone call from her saying, can you come round and talk to me? My hair's not right. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought she wanted me to go round, tell her how I cut it so she can tell this other girl how to cut it.
Right, yeah.
And she went, do you know what? I don't really like you. And I know you probably don't really like me, but you're the only one that can cut my hair right. And you're standing there, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And I said, so do you want to put back in with me then? She's like, yeah.
I don't like you.
And then luckily she did move away a couple of years later. But it's really weird how we were both just like, we hate each other. We've got fuck all to talk about, but you want me to cut your hair and I want your money, so let's go. Like, do you know what I mean?
So for her, it was just all about the hair.
Yeah. And it's funny because some people are like, oh, I've never gone back. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
You're getting paid for it.
Well, yeah. And just because I'm not the right person for her, don't mean nothing really. No. It's an hour out of my life.
Yeah, if you're cutting it right and she's paying you for it, then...
Yeah. But I have a really varied clientele, like really varied.
As in, like, in terms of ages and everything as well.
Oh, yeah, all sorts.
Yeah.
And, like, what I love about this job, and this is why I think that I've always been quite happy on the whole working in this industry, is that, like, when you're in someone's environment, because I've had a bit of a wild life and some quite extreme things have happened to me throughout my life, I feel that I offer a very warm, open, secure, confidential space, and you'll never shock me because I've probably done it 10 times over with glitter and bows on.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we talk about family issues, shit between siblings, like husband and wife issues, whatever, everyone always says to me, like, you're a really good person to talk to about this because I don't feel like I have to edit what I say because you don't affect my life, but I want to be honest with you and you're going to be honest with me.
Yeah, so you're their safe space.
A little bit. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a guru or anything, but like there is a part of it. A lot of my clients over like the last 15 years, definitely, we've all gone through this journey together, whether it's me, whether it's them. I've seen loads of different avenues of life via my clients. I've experienced loads of things via my clients, and that is because I'm not bothered if I do someone's hair and they're like, you're not for me. I'm like, cool, you're not for me then.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And what I won't do either is like when I entered a very affluent circle of clients through one of my clients, those women weren't for me.
Yes.
And when I left a woman's kitchen one day after she's incredibly rude to me and I bit my tongue because of my like good client, and I went straight to her house and said, I'm sorry if I cause loads of problems, but I say I'm never going back in that fucking kitchen. I don't want the fucking money. They can go fuck themselves. And she was like, and I was like, but I'm being honest. And if this puts you in a situation, I understand.
Yeah.
But I ain't doing that for money.
Yeah.
And I still do her hair to this day. So it's cool. Do you know what I mean? It's about being honest. If there was 4 hairdressers in England, I get why it'd be a bit different.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fit for everyone and they're not a fit for me.
Oh, no, absolutely. And there are so many hairdressers and we're all completely different.
Yeah.
Some of us are loud and some of us are quirky. Some of us are softly spoken. There's a hairdresser for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's like, I think it's sort of changing in a little bit of a way that, especially with like in terms of like training, apprenticeships and that sort of thing, there's less hairdressers coming through the door.
And I understand why, because I work for £1.9 an hour. Do you know what I mean? Full-time job, getting worked into the floor for an afternoon of training on a mannequin head, like you taking the piss. Whereas now the rules are very, very different. But what a lot of people, I think, the massive misconception of hairdressing is that it's easy.
Oh, it infuriates me.
It's fucking not easy. It is not easy.
Really, but I think it's because there is still sort of that look as in...
Well, it's the Instagram lifestyle. Oh, well, I always used to say, and I've changed my language on this, I was no good at anything else. Mm-hmm. That's not true, really, and it's a very negative state to put this industry in. But one thing I will say was that up until I actually committed in that salon, I wondered what my life was going to actually be because I couldn't keep a job for long. I think I did have a few ongoing jobs, but at one point I had like 6 jobs going on at the same time and stuff. It's mental. But all my routine, like office work, data admin, all of these I worked in call centres, horrific. But I'm glad, this is the thing that I try and tell all my clients' kids and that, go do shit jobs. Go and do the shittest job because you're going to either stand there and go, I'm going to do this till I die, or go, I am never fucking setting my life up to do this shit again.
Retail I will never do again.
Yeah.
I just...
But would you say you regret doing it?
No. Because I got paid for it.
Yeah. But like,
and it gave me like some life experience.
Well, didn't you then stand there going, I ain't doing this till I retire?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Definitely.
So then it's worth doing,
it's a lesson
isn't it?
learned.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, and then I went on to work in catering. My mum had her own catering company.
I wanted
job.
to be a chef, really.
Yeah.
But the unsocial hours, and because I just used to love to party, it just weren't part of it. Do you know what I mean?
For me, it was... I'd just constantly be eating food at the same time as well. And I'm like,
I'm a fat fuck, I can't say no.
Shouldn't be eating this food.
I swear Hungry Hippos was based on me.
I love that. I've lost my train of thought now. I've got an image. I might have to get ChatGPT to do this.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Oh, right, okay. So would you say you're the biggest oversharer or your clients? Or a bit of a balance? Like, would you be the one to go, oh my God, this happened? Or would they be the one to say that?
It's definitely down the middle.
Yeah.
I'm very open. So if you spend a little bit of time with me because of my life experiences, I've learned that I'm okay with who I am, what I've done, the decisions I've made, the pathways I've done. And if someone asks me a question, I'll answer it. I've got no qualms about explaining myself because I've dragged myself back from the gates of hell on my own. So I don't need to really... Like before, I used to get really socially anxious. And obviously when you're working in salons at that time, it's very different. You had to have this level. I was consistently getting bollocked for talking about stuff that you shouldn't talk about on the salon floor.
Stay professional.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think that my clients now, what I love about my real die-hard core clients is we're just all in it together.
Yeah.
And like a lot of my clients, like when people have gone through like treatment based situations like with chemo and stuff, go in to sort of have that appointment of shaving their head and stuff, like, and when I've had some really, really fucked up things happen to me, like we're sort of, I feel, and a lot of my clients always say, like, if they need to find someone to do something, they'll message me because I know loads of people, so they'll be like, do you know anyone this, or and I can do it back to them. And it's just like we're in this really calm, lovely, supportive environment, and I think that's like where I feel really proud of my business on that front.
Yeah.
Because yes, I do occasionally get new people. There's a lot of people that aren't as deep in with me, and same the other way. But if they phoned me and needed me,
you'd be there.
Yeah.
Ah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So I suppose that leads on to your sound bath.
Yeah.
So the sound. So explain. Sound and energy therapist.
Yeah. So it's all a bit like whimsical, but I love it.
whimsical.
Yeah. And it's like for years and years and years, I've always lent into like holistic stuff. I've been very interested. I'm a bit of a spa queen, so I fucking love a spa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd always go for these like different treatments, and when I've travelled around the world, I'm the one that's like, yeah, scrub me with beetle husk, like let's go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In for penny, in for pound, let's go. And then
spin me around on that table.
yes, like I'm all up for it. So I've found that through some adversity that I've faced and some quite deep inner issues that I've battled with for a very long time, the holistic world was very unexplained to me, but worked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, this is really, really interesting. And then sadly, like nearly 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a really rare cancer.
Okay.
And it's been a fucking car crash, really. I'm so privileged and lucky that I'm there's like 4 doctors in England that deal with it. Like, it's just been a bit of a fucking shitstorm. And when I came into a slightly better space with it, I thought, I want to provide something for people where they can't even vocalise how fucked they feel.
Yeah.
And like all of these funny little things were like building in me. And I'd go to sound baths, I'd go off to spas and have like Reiki. And I also qualified in Reiki like 7 years ago.
I love Reiki.
Yeah. And I'm just started my masters like a couple of months ago. Yeah. It's fucking mental. But yeah. So, and I find with my hairdressing, because we're working around people's heads, you're touching people, you're having very emotional conversations. This was like a natural thing for me. I already provide it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I was on a bit of a mad one and thought, I need to go and just do something that I'd never do. And I was looking at a yoga retreat in Portugal. Mm-hmm. And it was going to cost an arm and a leg. And it was like 6 weeks. And I was really thinking, fuck it, I'm just going to get on that plane and go do it and like come back all bendy and that. And
had you done yoga beforehand?
I'm about as flexible as a fucking brick.
I've done one yoga session, and I remember there was me and there was a girl next to me. It was our first time doing it, and obviously it's all like a nice calming music, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what the position was, but me and this girl next to me, we could not get into it, and we started giggling. And the woman was at the front going, "Quiet at the back, please." And I'm like,
oh, fuck off,
sorry.
Carol, you bitch.
I thought, I ain't going back to there again.
Yeah, like, so I've sort of had experiences of stuff like that, and then I was going to go off to do this yoga retreat, really, really non-thought about it. I just hit the fuck it button and was like, I'm doing it. And then I went over to see my best mate, and I was like, we were talking about some stuff. And she's like, have you really thought about this? You're going to go off and sleep in a dormitory with like 18 people and you've got to eat like with them and sleep in the same room as them and you've got to like get on with them and do yoga all day. I was like, oh, that sounds quite shit. You're like, what the fuck was I thinking? So then I started to have a look at what I could diversify into. I looked into so many different things, like some real random shit. And then I thought, do you know what do I love? What do I think I could actually lean into that is part of who I am? I'm not going to be part of it.
Yeah.
And then it all just kind of materialised. And then I inquired about a training course to do with sounds and it was fully booked. I was like, fuck. And it was months till the next one. And I was like, And I'd approached a few companies, but one thing I will say about holistics is the snobbery and wankerism is massive.
Okay.
Oh, I've trained with this person and I bath in piss on the solstice and I'll just fuck off. Like that to me is lovely. Don't get me wrong. Not for me.
No.
And I don't survive with people like that very well.
No.
And I lean into a lot of things that this industry promotes, but that doesn't mean I embody it and it's how I'm not above anyone.
No.
We're all on different levels. We're all in different lanes. Like, let's just be cool. So yeah, then I got a phone call saying, someone's dropped out. Do you want to do the training? I was like,
there's your
fuck
sign.
it. I've got to do
sign.
it. Yeah, got to do it. I went thinking, if they're all dressed in linen and start talking about like exfoliating with birch twigs and like living in hedges and stuff, I don't know how this is gonna fucking go, because as much as I allow everyone to be themselves, like my face is subtitled. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, this is a risk, this is a fucking risk. But I turned up and I met this group of people and it was just the right moment. And the girl who was training us was very, I clicked with her straight away. There's one woman in particular on that course where like, she's teaching me the Reiki Masters. It was like this, we went outside to have a cigarette and this like lightning bolt moment of we met honestly.
Yes.
Which is so fucking rare.
Yeah.
Because everyone has all of that shit. And do you know what? I walked back in to do the next bit of that training like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is fucking it. And we all suffer with anxiety, nervous system dysregulation. Like, I know so much about menopause. It's fucking unreal. And sound therapy is a massive, massive help for peri and menopause.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the feedback that I've had have been quite interesting.
Yeah.
About the sweating and the sleeping and stuff because of how sound therapy affects your body. Yeah, and then when I qualified, it was one of those moments where you're like, if I don't go and do one, I ain't going to do one. Because it's a lot. It's very vulnerable. I speak like a fucking fishwife. I swear and drop the C-bomb like loads. And is that calming and relaxing? And I'm like, I don't know. But because I shit myself about doing it, I'm like, let's book it. We're fucking doing it. And I remember that first day, I stood in this hall, nearly projectile vomiting, going, what the fuck? What on God's green earth am I fucking doing? This is fucked. And I literally was starting to pack up my equipment, going, no, cancel it. No, fuck it. No. And the car pulled up and it was my mate. And I'm like, fuck, the first one's here. I'm just going to have to go out and tell her I ain't doing it. And I opened the door and she's like, morning. And I'm like, oh, should we just see? And then, yeah, my first sound bath, I had 17 people.
Oh, wow.
Where some people like have 4 or yeah. And that day showed me I can hold space for people. I can help people. I can undistract people from phones, dogs, kids, Tesco deliveries.
Close all the tabs.
Yeah. Like, and whether you like it or not, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Whether you're ready for it or not, that's what happens. And I did this hour sound bath so negatively within myself, thinking, oh, this is, and some people have been to loads before, like really good ones. And I'm like, and I'm not very good at talking positively to myself, but I walked around this room, I'm watching everyone that had dropped in, rolling, breathing. Everyone was having an experience at my hands. I provided the space, they're doing the work. And at the end, when everyone sat up And I just looked at everyone's eyes and I just thought, I've fucking done, this is what I've offered these people. And then, 3 days later, loads of people messaged me going, I've slept. I'm not sweating. Like, I'm calm. I walked into work on Monday. Okay. Like, one of my friends who doesn't sleep like me, she's like, I slept for 19 hours. I'm like, shit. Like, and it's just, again, with one of those things, learning about, you probably a hairdresser like it, where you read subconscious body language within your clients.
Yeah.
All of that.
Or energy.
1000%, this is like the whole goal. And it just clicked. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
So you've like found your thing.
Yeah. So I qualified in September and I've done 47 sound baths.
Oh, wow.
I do one every Sunday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What, in different places or the same place?
Different places. I do private ones. I've been invited. I did a divorce party.
Okay.
But you can tailor it all to what the energy needs to be. And and I'm hosting my first retreat day on the 24th. Yeah, again, been to a few things, thought they were a bit questionable for the money. Thought I could do this. Jumped into it and then thought, oh shit, I can't do this. And then I'm like, I'm doing this.
You're scared, so you got to do it.
Yeah, let's run at it and do it.
Oh, that's so good.
Because we help people as hairdressers, whether it's physically, emotionally, connectively, whatever. And to add this into what I can offer people, it makes me feel really, really humbled and satisfied that people... in the beginning, I always used to invite people that were naysayers. Go, bollocks. I'm like, come, I won't charge you if you think it's bollocks at the end of it.
Right, I'm sending my husband.
Yeah, honestly.
Because he is like, no,
well, fuck, am I going to sit in a village fucking awful? All of that. And do you know what? Apart from one person, out of all when they sit up, they're like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
I'm like, the gift.
You've got to give these things a try. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that they're not into like the crystals, the energy, all this sort of thing. And that's fine, that's fair
cool.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I always grew up with it. Without even realising that.
Yeah.
So
this is a bit like myself.
My auntie
always gravitated towards certain things.
Yeah, and my auntie, she had a lot of crystals and all this sort of thing. So me and my cousins, when we were younger, we used to play with crystals. We used to hang them from like a chain. I would say yes and no to it.
Yeah, all the pendulum stuff. Yeah,
all that sort of thing. I thought this is what every child did.
No.
I thought this was completely normal.
How
so when
unique.
I like grew up and tell them this, they'd be like, what?
Are you okay?
What are you doing with a fucking stone? Oh, you spin it around. Going, no, I've never done that.
Within the world, like my experiences of delving deeper into this side of the industry is that like I find some of it a bit sad because and this is what I say to people that have attended some of my stuff. Like, it's confidential and a very safe space. So if you wake up and you need to let some shit out, let's go. I'm the best person you can do it with because I literally don't give a fuck. I'll sit with you. I'll hold the space for you, like whatever. But with holistics, it's the same as hairdressing. You've got to find the right person because I try and limit my swearing and try and talk a bit more soothingly to accommodate that environment. But I am real.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't put on a front for it.
And I've met a few people on this journey, which is brilliant for them, and I'm not dissing them at all. But when they're just like, oh, on the solstice, I bath in the tears of small animals. And I just think, no, you don't, Sue. No, you fucking don't. Like, do you know who you are? Whereas I know who I am.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I found this journey really, really interesting. But what I'm a bit of an advocate for is, as hairdressers, we collect everyone's fucking energy. We collect it like shit on a blanket. And it's like...
And we hold it.
Don't we just?
Because we're a safe space. We don't let it out to anyone else. We hold it.
Yeah. Because you're always on. You don't have time. And like a few people that have attended with me, I suppose the tricky thing about this sort of stuff is it's not you can't explain it and it's unique. So what you get once and what you're going to get twice.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer within interpersonal service, you're taking as well as giving.
Yeah.
And sometimes like you could do the longest day, but be on like the top thinking, fucking slamming, I've had a brilliant day today, but you could do 2 clients the next day and be on the floor.
Yeah.
Because of conversation, circumstances, what you're involved with, blah, blah, blah. And this just helps rebalance your nervous system.
Oh, well, you know these like facial twitches I'm gonna get. I'm gonna have to come and do one of your sound baths then.
Oh my God.
If you can get rid of them, and I don't look like, what did you call it?
Like nana lips.
Like nana lips, chewing me lips. Honestly, soon I'm gonna be like, because and someone else has said to me, it's your nervous system.
1000%. And like I've learned, I've always been quite in tune with certain things. So when I'm chatting to my clients, I can tell there's something really bad going on, or I can feel something needs to be said, but I also know when I'm not the one that's got to bring it. So it could take 3 appointments, but I said, I kind of knew something weren't right. I've known you a long time. I touch your head. I can feel shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the fast pace of life, the competitiveness of hairdressing, the having to be a social media fucking superstar, a fucking accountant, a fucking stock controller, a fucking hairdresser, like you're running at such a high level. And what I love about the sessions that I provide is, even if your brain doesn't really switch off and you're doing 7,000 things, like, oh, tomorrow I've got to do this, and like, why the fuck didn't I hoover the stairs, or like whatever, your body cannot reject sound and frequency.
Okay.
So even if your brain don't really get there the first time, you get the full effect. Because you literally absorb it. We're bags of water, aren't we?
Yeah.
So then if you look at what vibration does to water, that's what happens to your body. It resettles your cranial fluid, it rehydrates all your cells to a molecular level, it helps distribute your blood evenly. So much shit comes out of this that I know it's because I do it, and I've always like loved it. Everyone's got to give this a crack for 3 sessions. Because the first one, your brain will chase it. The second one, you kind of know what to expect. By the third one, you'll either know whether it's your thing or not.
So is that like you've got to do like, so say if you did 3 sessions, like week after week, or what's the best way to go about it?
I just think once a month.
Okay.
To just give yourself, like, I'm pretty chill. So people come in and like every group I've done, and this is what I love about what I've attracted, everyone's so fucking cool and like the best people to walk into a room on your own with.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
And then because it's a very solo activity, even if you come with a friend or whatever, it's like afterwards, rather than going, right, there's no rush to come to a seated pose, but you've got to get out in 15 minutes, but there's no rush to come to a seated pose. I like, let everyone do what the fuck they've got to do, lie there. I do a couple of activities to do psychological releasing and stuff. And then tea and biscuits. Like, I've left sound baths before and been like, I am not safe to drive a fucking car. Like,
I need me tea.
Yeah, like I need some shit right now because I cannot get on a motorway. Whereas everyone that comes to my sessions, the lovely part of the feedback is people sit and talk. I do some card stuff, so people are reading what their cards are. Everyone just chills.
Yeah.
And you come back to reality with a cup of tea and some like Borders biscuits. I mean, who doesn't want that on a fucking Sunday? And then it's just like you're set.
Yeah.
Then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I really like that.
Yeah, it's lush.
Right, you're gonna have to get me booked in. You're gonna have to put some dates in.
Do it.
Okay, so last question.
Yeah.
Is there anything, hair related or not,
you
would like to overshare with us?
Well, there's a few things, I suppose. My first thing that I try and live by, that a very wise person taught me, what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Okay.
So I'll sit with my mates, with anyone, to the end of fucking time, listening to like worries, concerns, whatever. But if you're not changing it, you've chosen it. So why the fuck are you going on about it?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work immaculately, but every day that's something that I think, right, I can't sit and bellyache about this because I've chosen it because I've not changed it. So
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then my second thing is that if you're just starting out in hairdressing, focus on your style of your craft.
Agree.
I think like I spent those first few years feeling really, really scared and like not sure of myself. And I know that's an age thing and whatever, but I see some hairdressers, like one of the girls that I trained years ago, she's shit hot. And it's not because of me, it's because of her. But I look at her and think, you got that, you nailed that, you ran and got it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Boom.
Just be authentically
1,000%.
yourself.
And this is what, like, with the holistic industry as well, like when I started my Reiki Masters, we come from such different walks of life, but we're all authentic. So there's already respect there. I don't operate very well with people that I can't read that on. Because I just think, oh, and then my face really says there's a problem.
Yeah.
And I
it's
hate
the people
that.
that sort of like put on the performance.
Or like, what's wrong with you? Like I've over the course of my life, there's not enough people that I've put my hands on their shoulders and gone, find what's rotten within you because it's ruining you. Because I've had to do all of that. I've done all that work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, authenticity is like a big gold star, that is.
Definitely. And you said 3 things?
And I suppose the other thing is that life is really short. It fucking comes and dry humps you at the worst possible moments. So you've got to be happy with exactly where the fuck you are and what the fuck you do.
Love that. That's a good way to end. I love that. Thank you so much.
Amazing, thank
for
you.
Coming. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Amazing.
Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, full scale.
And obviously, I've seen that you put a post up early, like, oh, I bet you don't know what I'm doing today. No. Well, now you'll be able to
now
show
we can get it out there.
everyone you've come out of your comfort zone.
And do you know what? This is the year of yes for me.
Yeah.
So there's so much shit, like yes to the retreat, like yes to some stuff that I had to do medically in hospital, like yes to just, I need to push now. I'm 43, let's push it because it can't get any worse than it's already got. So like, let's go. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm fully with you with that. So, no, thank you very much.
Thank you very
It's been lovely
much.
having you.
Amazing.